wait. I thought no Americans cared about this story. What do you mean polls show that Americans disapprove of it? So speaking of CNN and the leadership over there and the rightward swing, the cozying up to, the cuddling up to, the lathering up of Donald Trump and this fascist regime, it seems that they are in self-protection mode, at least the high-ups, at least the president, the chief now of CNN, and some of the top anchors like Jake Tapper are in cover your ass mode, CYA. There's reporting that Mark Thompson, the new CNN chief, I'm going to read this headline and a little bit of this article from Status, which is an independent outlet that does reporting, and that Mark Thompson sought out counsel at the White House, went to the White House to pitch their new streaming service that they're getting ready to roll out. And when he went back to CNN, they had an all-hands editorial meeting that he took part in. Again, he's the business side of CNN. He's not the editorial control. And he was pressuring staffers at CNN to, hey, cool it, guys, on the coverage of Donald Trump destroying the White House, literally demolishing the East Wing of the White House. Let's cool it on that. I don't think our audience really cares about that. Talk about not having your finger on the pulse of what's important to Americans. Mark Thompson is at the tip of that spear. This is the headline from Status once again. Mark Thompson's DC drop-in. CNN's chief had Washington talking about his private meeting at the White House, following which he urged the network to ease up on coverage of Trump's East Room demolition, Status has learned. This is a problem. Again, the theme of the day, I guess, is just what a shit show the current status, to use the name of this outlet, the current status of mainstream media in the United States. Whether it be Morning Joe bending the knee and kissing the ring of Donald Trump even before he took office, whether it be the different turnover of ownership at CBS or ABC, paying out millions of dollars, 15, 16 million here, contributing to the ballroom, the palace project of Donald Trump as he destroys the literal structure of our house, the people's house, the White House. We have a serious problem at hand. This is what Status reports. On Wednesday, as Donald Trump tore down the East Wing to build his ballroom, the White House had a visitor who raised eyebrows across Washington. CNN chief Mark Thompson made a rare appearance at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. If you don't know, that's the address of the White House, according to multiple people familiar with the matter. The meeting was ostensibly about introducing to the administration the network's new direct-to-consumer streaming product launching next week, laying the groundwork for officials to appear on CNN. So apparently he's just hitting the road trying to drum up some guests. But you have to do that at the White House. You can't pick up the phone or go into a text thread like Jake Tapper did the other day with his Trump interview via text message. Right. Makes a ton of sense. But given the swirl of speculation surrounding the cable network, with parent company Warner Brothers Discovery having publicly put itself up for auction, the question of Donald Trump's animosity towards CNN and how that might manifest itself in the process is very much on people's minds. The meeting could certainly have been regular business, as news networks have a vested interest in maintaining a relationship with the administration for coverage access, but people close to the situation, say Thompson and the Warner Brothers Discovery chief David Zasloff, believe it's very important for CNN to have a functional relationship with the White House, and CNN anchor Jake Tapper, who recently conducted an interview with Trump via text message, has been lobbying for an interview with the President of the United States. This is cozying up to a fascist regime. We are no longer wondering how Donald Trump is going to operate. We're no longer curious about the authoritarian nature of Donald Trump and how that's going to manifest in our lives. We're witnessing masked secret police in the streets of the United States, literally kidnapping people without due process. Citizens of America are being taken hostage and detained with no due process. They are firing weaponry, pepper balls and such, at pastors of people of the cloth who are there to protest the inhumane actions of Donald Trump's secret police, the new Gestapo in the United States. And what does CNN do? Rather than report critically, rather than report the facts on the ground, they're rushing to the White House to get closer to Donald Trump, to curry favor with Donald Trump and, likely the shadow president of the United States, Stephen Miller. Not good. Not a good look, CNN. You are trashing your reputation, and with it will come viewers. Maybe not yet. Maybe there will be a slow trickle out, a slow filing out as far as ratings are concerned and the people who trust your coverage. But it's gonna happen, because if you align yourself with fascism, you will fail. I will continue here. Such a posture is nothing new for Zaslav, who said at a 2023 media conference before Trump's re-election that Republicans are back on the air at CNN, adding that the network would become less of an advocacy outlet under new management. Less of an advocacy outlet? Is that the way the new heads of CNN see what CNN used to be, as an advocacy outlet or as a down-the-middle reporting organization, a journalistic outlet? They were not advocating for policy. They were not Fox News by any stretch of the imagination. They were not MSNBC, let's say, which is more of a left-leaning outlet. Still corporate media, absolutely. But come on, let's deal with reality on reality's terms here. Still, staffers were taken aback the next morning when Mark Thompson returned, when Thompson suggested during the Daily Network editorial call that it should ease up on covering Trump's East Wing demolition, claiming that their viewership isn't all that interested in the story, according to two people familiar with the matter. Now, it should not matter to a news organization whether people are interested in a story or not. If it's news, if it's newsworthy, if it's noteworthy, it should get reported on. What if people weren't concerned that Donald Trump dropped dead? Are they not going to report on it because people don't care? No, they would absolutely report on it because it would be news. It would be newsworthy. Again, it would be noteworthy. That's not how you run a news organization. I'm not even a journalist, and I know that. The comment struck many as bizarre coming from Thompson, who, despite carrying the editor-in-chief title, generally tends not to wade too much into the minutia of the network's editorial process. Quote, "There is zero truth to this conjecture," a CNN spokesperson told Status in a statement after the story was published. And then finally, the final paragraph here that I'm going to read, you should read this article, go check out this coverage. The guidance suggested Thompson was trying to soften CNN's coverage of Trump on an issue the administration has sought to keep out of the public view, as polls show most Americans disapprove of the action. Wait. I thought no Americans cared about the story. What do you mean polls show that Americans disapprove of it? Those two things seem to be contrary. This entire spin from the Thompson team and his staffers denying the story doesn't wash. They are liars. And if they're lying about this, what else are they lying about? If we can't trust them about this, what else can't we trust them about? I guess that's where I'll leave you. I will ask that question to you. Please let me know in the comments what you think. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. I would appreciate very much if you would consider helping produce this work, helping contribute to supporting this effort. You can do so on Patreon by going to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. And you can also become a channel member on YouTube for $2 a month. Just click the join button, see what's involved, and help support this work. Again, I'm not CNN. We are not corporate media. We don't have corporate backers. You help support this work. I love you very much. See you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.